Hi, welcome to In Her Lane podcast. I'm Hannah Morris.
And I'm Monica Ramsey. Thank you for joining us. We're here today with Maddie Mcadoo. We're so excited to have you with us.
Excited to be here.
We wanted to start off, where did you grow up? I have no idea, like, where you're from. Where did you grow up? Give us a little background on your life.
I am born and raised in California. I've lived in Temecula since I was like 4. And then I moved to Tennessee, moved to Nashville when I was 18. And I lived there on and off for like 3 years. And then I moved back in 2021, like for good.
And did you go to Nashville because of your Temecula Road band, right? Can you tell us some background? Because I remember seeing you on The Bachelor. Was it The Bachelorette?
It was The Bachelor.
Yeah. I remember, I don't know if it was when you and Cameron were first together, but I remember watching it because I used to watch that show all the time. And then, oh my gosh, that's Cameron's.
That's a big deal. You were on The Bachelor, like with the band.
You know how,
I didn't realize that.
When they do their like date and then they after dinner they go and then somebody performs
and they're like dancing.
It was
oh my gosh, how cool.
Yeah. So tell us all about your band. And it's your siblings?
So it's my sister and then a friend who we met through like singing lessons here in Temecula, and our vocal coach put us together. And we just kind of sang around town every now and then. And then I think when I was 13, we were like taking it more seriously. And we did this like songwriting camp in Orange County, and we actually won it. And the prize was like, you get to release that song with a record label.
So you guys wrote the song?
Yes.
What was the name of it?
Oh, I literally don't want to say. It was called Paper or Plastic. Just how it sounds, just like the grocery bags.
Yeah.
It was like a love song, but it was like, how do you write a love song when you're 13, 14? So it was like teeny bop or whatever. And then we started going to Nashville to meet with other record labels to sign us, and we ended up signing with Hollywood Records, which is Disney's record label. And we were with them the whole time until I left. And then we decided to move to Nashville in 2018, I guess. And the Disney and ABC relationship is how we got on The Bachelor.
Okay, gotcha.
So that was during COVID. So they were like stationed in one location. And I think we were in Pennsylvania. And it was this hotel, and we had to get COVID tested every day. We had to be quarantined in our own rooms, 3 of us. And it was like the gnarly COVID test. They go like to your eye.
Yeah. To your brain.
Yes. It was so bad. And that was like one of the most awkward moments ever. As you can imagine, you're just like singing. It's dead silent. And there's like a couple making out like literally right there.
And you have to act like you're singing to the world because like everybody's watching.
Yeah.
Eventually.
It was so nerve-wracking and so awkward.
So when did you sign with Hollywood Records?
I was 14 when we got our record deal. And then in 2020, Warner Music reached out, and they wanted to do like a co-deal with Hollywood Records. So we signed that in 2020. And then the beginning of 2021, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is not for me. And at that point, I'd been doing it, just singing for like almost 10 years. And I was like, this just isn't for me. And so I left.
And you gave it up?
I gave it up.
Until the national anthem.
Until the national anthem.
She's back, baby. How was that? Like, that's different.
That was so nerve-wracking. I got asked to do it the week before. And I was like, I really don't want to, but I will. And they just wanted me to do it alone. And I was like, I can't do it alone. I've always sung with my sister. So I asked her to drive down. She lives like in San Luis Obispo with her baby and her dad. And so I was like, please drive down and do it with me. And then a little support. Yeah. And then like on Wednesday before, Tim Cotter called me and he's like, NBC found out that you were going to do the national anthem and they want to put it on the broadcast. I'm like, no, please don't. So it ended up being on the broadcast, but it was so nerve-wracking. That's like such a hard song to sing.
It is. It's so hard.
And if you mess it up, you will never live it down.
Yeah.
So
we've talked about our daughter doing one of the Supercross national anthems too. And I'm just like, I think you sing good. But it's a lot of pressure. But I think your guys' rendition was the way you guys
like harmonized.
Thank
so
you.
Good. Yeah. Thank you. That was another reason I wanted her to come down and do it, because that's the only version I've ever done. And without her harmony, it just sounds kind of weird.
It doesn't work.
doesn't work.
Is there anything else like when you were in that industry that you guys did that you want to mention? Like any others? Like I know you're on The Bachelor. Is there any other big stuff or?
We played Stagecoach, I think 4 times.
You did?
Oh, no way.
That was always fun.
How fun is that?
That was really
So
fun.
cool.
We've done the national anthem for a lot of things. What else? We opened for Train a few times, which was fun.
You've done the national anthem at Supercross before too, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have. That was a long time ago. Yeah, I don't want to do the national anthem ever
again. You're like, that was my retirement gift at Paula.
That's what I said. I was like, I'm never doing this again, guys. That was it.
I love how you guys did it in the back of the truck.
I know, that was fun.
That was like, it was just,
It was cute.
Yeah,
like country-ish, kind of, I don't know, like rough with the dirt and the truck. And
yeah, Toyota Redlands was the sponsor of that race, and Cameron and I work with them.
yeah,
And so that
It
he
worked
was
out.
the one that asked me to do it, is the owner of Toyota Redlands.
Oh, that's so
I was like, can't say no.
yeah.
that was really cool. Okay, so, go ahead.
So can you tell us how you and Cameron met?
Yeah, we met through a mutual friend. We had like known about each other for a few years, but we met through a mutual friend, and he asked for my number, and she gave it to him. I was like, sure, whatever. And that was like right when COVID started, like maybe the day it started. And then a month later, I was staying in Florida at the time with my family. They had a house there. So it was me, my parents, my sister, her boyfriend, my older sister, her husband, and 2 kids.
You all are just quarantining together.
Yes, in a house like by the beach. And so about a month later, Cameron was like, I want to see you. And I was like, well, you'll have to come here. And so he came with everybody there. First time, like, really
Wow.
meeting. And stayed for, I think it was Easter weekend. So we stayed for the long weekend, and we've been together ever since.
And that was in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys were together when you did the show on The Bachelor, right?
Yeah.
Because you were just
Yeah, I think that was the next year.
it was the
The
next
year after.
Oh, because it was still COVID testing then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then is that part of the reason that you decided to stop your journey in the music world, or any influence?
It had an influence for sure. I think COVID had a big thing to do with it, because everyone in Nashville kind of like
Shut down.
Yeah, they shut down. And so I realized life without it. And I realized I've never really wanted to do it that bad. Like when we would get calls from management, like, hey, you're flying to London to go sing at this festival. I'd be like, that doesn't like bring me happiness or anything.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't light me up. And then just looking back on everything, and then spending time here, like where I grew up with Cameron again, I'm like, I don't think I want this. And so I went back and forth on it for like 6 months to a year. And then I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Good for you. I feel like in the industry, I feel like so often women, like, their careers get on hold for their husband, their boyfriend, fiance, whatever. And I feel like, I don't know Cameron, actually. I've never met him, but he does not seem like the type of guy that's like, you need to put this
Not
on
at all.
hold, like, for like, be in the moment with me, like, let's focus on my racing. I don't get that vibe from you, like, at all. So I think it's really like neat to like hear your side of the story, that it really had nothing to do with that, and it just didn't bring you joy anymore, and it was on your bottom. Yeah.
It was. Yeah. He was like, are you sure? Like, give it some time before you decide.
He seems like he would be like the most supportive
He is.
human on planet Earth, and
He's
would
seriously
go to the
the
ends of the
best.
earth for you to succeed in your career. So
That's exactly
yeah.
That's a good summary.
That is.
So what is a typical race week for you guys? Like when you're preparing for going to it? Yeah.
I think so. Like, if we're coming back from a race, Monday we go to Dr. G.
Love
and
Dr. G.
I know, he's literally the best. And then, so that's Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, we're at the track. I like to go to the track with him.
You guys do a lot together, right?
We
So
do.
like you go to G's with him, you go to the track. Yeah, I was like the polar opposite. I was like, have fun.
I used to go to, Nathan used to go to G's in the beginning too when he raced, and he adjusted our daughter when she was like 3 or 4 weeks old.
Oh my
She was like constipated. Sorry, Tatum. And I would do the same. And then sometimes I would go to the track because he rode for First Circuit at the time.
Yeah.
And watch him ride and stuff like that. But we had a baby pretty early, so in our marriage, so that kind of hindered me from going. And watching.
Yeah.
But I
sure.
think
I'm
that's
sure that
very-
will change.
Yeah.
But if he like goes to Lowe's, he's like, "Want to come?" Like we do everything.
Yeah.
We just like each other's company. Yeah,
You guys are best friends.
we are.
That's the way it should be.
Okay, so Monday you're going to G's. Tuesday, Wednesday, we're at the track.
And then we usually fly Thursdays.
Yeah.
I think that's like a new thing. I don't think people used to fly
It is.
Thursdays.
We used to fly Fridays. First flight Friday morning, it was rough. And then we fly first thing Sunday morning.
Yeah.
So it was just like team no sleep. And I worked at the hospital actually full time, and I was just like a zombie.
I bet.
So
Mariah had said that they leave on Thursdays.
they leave on Thursdays.
too, just because you never know with the flights.
Yeah, flight problems. It's good to get settled because we're always going to the East Coast.
Time difference.
Time difference. And then they usually have press on Friday. So we get there for that. And then race day Saturday is just chaos. And then, like you said, first flight home on Sunday, it's like 4:30 in the morning. Then you're just,
You like barely go to sleep.
yeah, literally, we pulled all-nighters just
Oh yeah.
not on purpose.
Sometimes it's like not even worth it to go to bed for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I agree.
When I go to the races to work in the medic rig, it's like that. I'm like, why did I do this to myself?
I know.
I don't.
But then you just want to be home on Sunday. Like I just remember wanting to be home and just having like one day of like chill before it all started again.
What do you do on Sundays when you get back? Like veg out, just like chill and like watching TV.
That's what I would love to do, but Cameron doesn't know how to sit on the couch.
Yeah.
And so we always end up doing something. It's pretty chill, but we never just like lay on the couch for the rest of the day. I wish.
I think if Nathan did that when he was younger, I don't remember, but now
I'm like, aren't you tired?
dude, Nathan is cooked. We don't do anything. It's hard to get him to. I mean, it's rough on the.
It's
on their
so
bodies.
hard. I don't think that's talked about enough. Like the guys, and it is so hard on you. The grueling travel you're flying. If you're flying coast to coast, it takes so long. The time change, no sleep, exerting all that energy on Saturday.
And then doing it all again.
Yeah.
The next week. So you guys live in Cali. Does a lot of his teammates live in Cali? I feel like with Kawasaki, a lot of people live out here, but then are some living in Florida?
I think most of them don't live in California anymore.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, everybody was here. And I think Cameron and Garrett are the only ones that live here. And I think there's 5 or 6.
Are you guys like just SoCal lifers, or do you think you'll ever venture to the East Coast?
If his career takes us to Florida, then we would obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
Florida,
Yeah.
but as far as like where we want to end up, I think we would end up here just because my whole family's here. His mom moved here a couple years ago because Cameron's sister is here too. She's in the Navy. So she actually lives with us.
Oh, cool.
I didn't know that.
How fun.
Yeah, she's stationed in San Diego. So it's really fun.
So is she commuting to San Diego for work?
Every day.
That's wild.
They leave at 3 in the morning.
Does she work 5 days a week? Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then where did his mom move from? What?
Iowa.
Is that where he's from? Mm-hmm. Okay. And then how old was he when he came out here?
He moved to South Carolina to go to club when he was 16. And then he got a fill-in ride for Geico. And he moved here in 2019 for that ride.
So he loves California.
He does. Yeah. He's not one of those that's like, I hate California.
Yeah.
I mean, there's things that neither of us like, but
Yeah. I think that's how everyone feels. A lot of times people end up moving back. Like we have a ton of friends that they try to leave and then they come back.
It's hard though. Once you leave, it's hard to come back because the prices of everything, like, I'm sure a lot of people got their homes when they were lower priced, and then you leave, you're kind of going, this might be forever.
yeah.
I never wanted to leave California either.
Yeah.
It would be.
Well, you guys are both from here, so I think that would be really hard.
We're from here too.
I'm from Riverside. Riverside. And Nathan's from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he came out here when he got his ride with Mitch. He rode for Suzuki before that, but he came out here when he got his ride for Pro Circuit, and we met shortly after that. And then he never went back. We have property in Tennessee, but yeah.
Do you like it in Tennessee?
I do, but I don't think I could ever.
It's a good place to visit, huh?
Yeah.
I'm with you.
It's just, we pay for the weather out here. I'm sorry. And there's some things that aren't great, but it's where my roots are. And you can't, it's hard to create new roots, especially at like an older age. I mean, I think it's different when you have kids and you can, you know, create friendships through that, but definitely.
Well, and I always tell people, because I spent my whole life going to Loretta's the first week of August, and I'm like, you want to move to Tennessee? Like, it sounds amazing, but that it is so hot and humid.
And the bugs.
The
bugs
yeah.
are the worst.
Bugs are so much worse coming from California where there's like nothing.
I know. It's hard. I lived there for a summer because we tried to do the dual residence, but it was harder for Nathan because he didn't have people to ride with out there.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't live on the East Coast back then.
Yeah, everybody used to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good old Ricky. It was Ricky, the Florida. Ricky and James. I said like the Florida thing.
And then it all went from there. Now everyone's out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But so you told us about a week of like what your week is like with racing, preparing. But what about race day? Like, how is that? Like, how do you prepare for that? What do you do? Do you do anything for Cameron? Like, how do you navigate that day? It's a long day.
Chaos. It's such a long day. I'm just there for whatever he needs. Like, if he needs literally anything, I'm available. But I'm not like, I don't want to be like inserted into the team because like I don't know what I'm talking about and I don't really care. I just care that like he's okay, he has what he needs, and he feels good.
Right.
So
Are you cooking food? Are you making drinks? Like, what are you doing throughout the day?
yeah, the food, making all the drinks, all those drink mixes, right? Depending on like the weather, getting like the towels ready and all that stuff. Race day is so chaotic. It's like hard to remember because it's such a blur.
Well, and then it's so long, and then you're doing the practices and qualifying, and then you have like some time in between where I was always nervous, even though I'm not the one racing.
Oh my gosh. I think my nerves are so much worse than Cameron's.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, because you
For
can't
sure.
control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in control. You're not.
Or like going into this Supercross season, he tore his ACL. And so it's like, I'm taping all of that stuff. Or last year, I had to tape his shoulder like multiple times a day. It's a lot.
You're learning how to become a physical trainer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, gee, what do I do?
Yeah.
Like videoing what he does. I'm like, okay, got it.
That's why I became a nurse. I was like, I don't get paid
Really?
for this. Yeah, I was like, after.
You're like, I'm already doing it.
I'm like, anyway. But so, yeah, you're doing a lot. You guys are a good team.
Yeah, I think so.
And then what is currently going on with Cameron now? Because he's not racing the outdoors.
Yeah, he's 3 months out from his ACL surgery. It's just a long recovery.
It is.
Yeah.
So did he tear his ACL before season started?
Yeah, in February.
And he was he supposed to ride west? Did he get caught up in the Levi kitchen was sick? Like, how did that all? Was he east from the get go this year?
He was going to be east, yes.
Okay.
And then we didn't know that Levi was sick until that morning of.
I don't think anybody knew Levi was sick until that morning, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Cameron's like, I would have raced west had I known if he had given like a week heads up. But, and then, yeah, in February, just.
And then he tried to race with it, right?
He did try.
Okay.
He'll always try.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like a warrior.
He has like no pain, or he has such a high pain tolerance that he can handle anything. And that's what makes me nervous. It's like, are you okay?
Because you might be making it worse in the long run.
Yeah.
So we got that. And so it's been about 3.5 months.
Yes.
That's a hard injury.
It is. It's so long. It's the second one he's done. Same knee. Yeah.
So is he back on the bike yet?
No. He still has a couple months. The doctor and Mitch say 6 months.
But the positive is that you guys are getting to hang out and not have to travel. You always got to try to look at the positives when the negatives happen.
Yeah, we always try our best to just find gratitude and everything. And
Yeah,
it's God's plan. It's like nothing we can do about it.
that's right.
I think one time you said, and I use this quote all the time, be where your feet are. I think you said that one time, and I'm constantly like, we just gotta be where our feet are. Like, I think that is like,
I didn't hear that.
I don't even remember when, or I think Cameron said it on a podium one time. Like, my wife said, like, you know, this weekend we just need to be where our feet are, and it's like stuck with me. And so like I'm constantly like, it's like a saying of mine now, like, because it is so true. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. Injuries are part of it, as much as they suck. It's just part of it, and you gotta roll with it.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah.
Exactly. I said that during Supercross last year because he was like in the championship fight, and it was like getting closer to the end, and it was Indy, and I was like, just be present, soak it in. This is so cool. Be where your feet are. It's all good. And then he won that night. So I think that's when he said it.
Oh, that is so cool.
And then I don't know if he had the red plate before that, but he definitely did after. And then I think maybe 2 or 3 weekends after that was Nashville, and he kind of got taken out by another rider, and that ended his season. I think he broke his scapula, and
Poor guy.
he had like a 9-point lead. And
Oh, it is the worst.
sucks.
What's one of his worst injuries that, since you guys have been together, injuries, crashes, they're bad, but
Like the longest.
just one that always
Like
will
sticks
stick
with you. I feel like he like just has big crashes. Like he doesn't like just, you know, like
Tip
wash
over.
the front. Like
All right.
it's like a huge crash every time he crashes.
Like the first crash that comes to mind is Atlanta 2021. When he like went into the bridge. You'll have to look it up and find a video.
It's like 2021 Atlanta. Okay.
I think it was the second Atlanta, because those were those residency races.
Oh yeah.
But he literally, like, this was the bridge. He went like this into it, like head first, and like didn't break anything, didn't tear anything. And then he got third that night. They red flagged it, and he raced again and got third. It was crazy.
That is wild.
I'd love to.
You're gonna,
find it and
yeah, you're
post
gonna
it,
die
yeah.
when you watch that crash. That was crazy.
That's crazy. Okay, so in speaking with the crashes, we cannot skip over the crash, if you know what I mean.
Oh my
So
gosh.
What's
What's it like? The whole world.
Oh my gosh.
Didn't they make him underwear with like yachts on it?
Oh my gosh. So I didn't.
Were you at that race?
I was.
Okay.
And I didn't know, because when you're in the stands,
You-
you
it's
can't
no.
see. But all I'm thinking is, well, first I always get to the truck before he's back, just because he likes me to be the first person he sees, other than his mechanic. So I'm running back, and I'm just like, okay, just put a smile on your face, because he's going to be mad. You got 18th because of that first turn crash. So he's riding back, and he stands up on his bike, and he like starts moving his hips. I'm like,
So you didn't even know
until then.
no way.
Yeah.
Did anybody know though? Like they was it you couldn't see it on TV, right? Like I didn't know until the race
Until the
was
still
over,
shots
and then all
started
the
coming
pictures
out.
started coming out, and I was just like,
Yeah. You should see what I have.
I can imagine.
Oh my gosh. That was probably the funniest moment of my life. That was so funny.
I loved all the memes and stuff, but it was all in good fun. It wasn't like
It wasn't good.
Like they started calling him Sakadoo, right? Like
Yeah. He's like over it when people bring it up to him at the race.
yeah.
Funny.
I mean,
It is
yeah,
funny.
it's forgotten about, but of
Yeah.
course, since you were here, I was like, "What's your take?"
No, I think it's so funny. But of course, like he's the one to like finish the race instead of
with
like
his junk hanging out? It just shows the warrior
can't
mentality. He can't stop.
it's crazy.
But everybody I've talked to, like my husband or my brother, or like they were all like, that would not stop me either. I think it's just like a racer mentality.
Yeah.
Like nothing will stop you because.
No,
But me, I'm over here like if that was me,
if a boom slipped
I know. Hell, I would be like, oh my gosh. But okay, so a fun fact about the three of us. I think it's probably the only thing that we have in common.
well, besides our husbands being
Yeah,
racers.
but all of our husbands have at one point raced for Pro Circuit.
Oh really?
Yeah. So when did Nathan race for Pro Circuit?
So he won his championship in '99, and I think he rode a year prior to that for Mitch. So '98,
So 98 and 99.
and then '99 is when he won, and then he rode in 2000 to defend his title and broke his navicular like the week before Anaheim.
Oh.
So it was 3 years he rode for Mitch. But yeah,
Okay, so then my brother started racing for Mitch in 2001, but back in the day it was like a trial ride. It was like different how amateurs like got rides now. And it's so funny because I think like we all know different Mitches.
People always say that like Mitch in your guys' era is different than like what we
Oh.
did.
So different.
I think too because he's married now. He's a father.
Well,
Yeah.
Ryan raced for him when he had his twins. So Ryan raced for him in 2009 and the twins were born
Oh, I didn't know that.
that year in middle of the season.
Yeah. Mitch and me at first, I love him now. Like
I think everybody loves
Oh,
it.
like,
yeah.
we ended, Nathan's in 99, or maybe in 98, 99. Yeah, we were good. And he actually apologized to me for the way he acted. But, he's very protective of his writers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was like, just thinking, I'm just some girl around, going to distract his writer. And Nathan was like, no, I love her, and this is the way it's going to be. And and then, but now we're like,
Well, I've seen Mitch. So like when my brother was racing for him, and this was like, I feel like the heyday of like pro circuit, like they always won.
Yeah.
It was like, there was like a time period where like they just never lost. And I think like all of the guys did bad, and they put everybody in the semi and they locked the door. And I just remember being like, I am so glad I'm not in there right now.
yeah. How was your experience when you first met him?
Great, actually. So I met him like Cameron had only raced like 3 or 4 races with the team until we started dating. So I met him at his house, him and Kristen, and it was great. But I've heard Mitch stories, so I'm like so nervous, right? And yeah, we have a great relationship with Mitch, actually.
Is there anything that you would ever want to change about the sport?
I think outdoors are like way too hot. I don't really know how you could change that because they're just always in the summer. And I know people hate like when they shorten the motos, but it makes me nervous for the riders that they're riding in such intense heat for so long back to back. So that's just like a selfish thing that I wish could change. But
I completely agree with you. I feel like it's dangerous, and I'm constantly like my husband doesn't even race anymore, and I'm nervous for the guys. Like there was one race that it ended at Paula in September or August, and
that
it
was the one where Cameron got knocked out for our wedding.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And it was so hot that day.
So hot.
It was like 118.
Yeah.
And they did shorten the motos, but regardless, it was. And I remember I actually went over to the Alpine Stars medical unit rig, and I was telling doctors, I was like, this is dangerous.
Was it in there?
No, you weren't. This was before the race started. But I was just like, this is dangerous, And like, of course you can get IVs after, right? Of the race.
Yeah.
When the race is over. Yeah. But regardless, it's scary. Like their core temperature has to be so high. It makes me nervous too. So I feel you on that.
Yeah, and Nathan told me, I don't know if it was last weekend's race was hot.
It was.
Hilltown. And I just heard about some people like feeling so sick, and I was like, they should have got an IV, it's super dangerous, but
really dangerous.
And then some people take advantage of it, and they'll come up to like the medic.
Totally.
And if you walk up and you're asking, then I'm like, no, because we don't want to create a culture where they think they can come get rehab.
The race is over. Let me go get an IV.
And IVs are really expensive too. Yeah. So, but we always have like an ice bath ready to go at the rig during those races, but it's pretty brutal. And then you got to hop on a plane in less than like 8 hours to go back home.
Well, and there's only is there an hour in between the races?
I think it might be an hour now. But that's like a new thing because they added halftime or whatever.
Oh, they did.
So it was like 30, and then you started. Yeah. It's like there's a decent break in between.
Yeah. I think it was maybe 45 minutes before or something. And now it's a little bit longer.
It's
you're right, because they have to get down to the line. Yeah, that is.
It's probably for TV time too.
It is, I'm sure.
Which benefits the riders to
have TV time. Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty amazing what their bodies can do.
It is. They are beasts. And I think that's what makes moto like the coolest sport in the world, is because they are just animals. But at the same time, their safety is important too.
And that's obviously coming from a wife's perspective.
Totally.
Like the fans are like, they can handle it. It's fine.
As a nurse perspective,
we're going home with them.
And that's what I think too. As a nurse perspective, also, it's nerve-wracking. Yeah. But they are beasts.
They are. And, with all the injuries and crashes that you're talking about, it's, they don't care. They don't give up. Me, I'm like, I hit my knee on like a table. I'm like, ow.
You won't hear about anything else for a week.
No. I started working out again every day. I'm like, my knees hurt. And Nathan's like, really? It's crazy enough. He never injured his knees.
My husband didn't either. We've never had ACLs.
Nothing.
That's funny. I texted Nicole Way before his just most recent surgery, and I was like, do you guys have crutches that we could borrow? She's like, nope, we never needed those. I'm like, lucky.
Yeah, I think Nathan only needed him for when he broke his femur.
We had a hip injury. We needed him as well.
Those are bad.
Yeah.
Hips.
But the positive thing that came out of that was that I had Tyson, and then we were able to haze around for that. So, I mean, it all works out the way it's supposed to. What is your favorite part about being Cameron's wife?
Honestly, he's such like a good husband and just so kind. He's such a good person. And like, I get to see all of that. Like, fans get to see like the tough side of him, but I get to see all of it. And he's just such an amazing human. And he literally treats me like gold.
As he should.
Thank you.
You deserve that.
He's just like, I never thought that a love like his existed, because I've been cheated on in the past and just treated like shit.
Yeah.
So I never thought that I would get what I have now. And so I still am like, are you real? Is this fake?
How long have you guys been married for?
We've been married 2.5 years.
And you're still
5.
feeling that way. So that's amazing.
Yeah, he hasn't changed since like when we first started dating. Yeah, he's amazing.
I love that for you.
And you see it on like, you obviously have a lot of followers. You are an influencer pretty much now, would you say? Like, yeah, I would think.
I feel like you totally moved your career from like the singing to like the influencing. And I feel like everyone loves you. So when we posted we were going to have you on, the amount of people that even went into my DMs like, oh my gosh, I love her. I can't wait. It was.
I love that.
They're like, do a tour of her closet.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're not doing the pod at her house.
Yeah.
You should do that though one time on here. But you can see your relationship on there, and we get a glimpse into that personal life.
Yeah, I'm not one to like share and make things seem prettier.
Right.
Mine, like, I just think that's silly.
I don't. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh, you can tell that you guys' relationship is so genuine. And I can tell that you guys both, the love that you guys have for each other is amazing. And
thank you.
I hope that everybody finds that love.
I know, me too.
Yeah.
I think I got pretty lucky too.
I think I did too.
Yeah.
It's sad to see like relationships these days and cheating and just people treating each other so badly, and like,
Which social media has a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
Too.
just sucks.
And, that's why it's important to be there for each other. Not because you don't trust each other, but it's just your bond grows stronger. And, and then there will be a day where you don't get to spend every day together.
I know.
So just live in the moment, like you said, because it goes by
So fast.
so freaking fast. Just like when you have a win or you end up on the podium, it's like, could this be the last one?
Yeah.
And so I'm always, because you know how it is on Monday, it's back to the week, and
Back to business.
you're only as good as your last race. So
100%.
and then they forget about you,
Yep.
or on to the next person.
Yeah, you can't put your happiness onto like your race results.
No,
You'll just be like this for the
you
rest
can't
of your life.
let your emotions be driven just by how well you finish. And I think that my husband Nathan was really good at that.
Yeah, Cameron too.
Let it go and just say, well, I'm healthy, or
Sometimes that's the most important thing you can take from the weekend. It's like, I have another shot next weekend.
Yeah. My brother always says onwards and upwards. And I took that from him, like after Ryan had a bad season and I was like super bummed. And he's just like, onwards and upwards, put it in a box and move on. That's just what you can't. Yeah.
no.
Got to move on.
What are you most excited about your future? Is there anything like?
I mean, obviously we're excited to have kids one day.
I can't wait to see you guys become.
I know. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah, one day, God willing. I don't really know. I just more of the same. Like I'm really happy with our life and how everything is. I feel blessed. I don't need anything more.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, that's a boring answer.
No. It's just honest and real.
Yeah.
What's the one item that you keep in your race day bag that you can't live without?
Oh, this is a new addition. CBD gummies.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I've never CBD is like nothing. I've never like tried THC or anything, but my friend gave me CBD gummies to take to a race.
Just to kind of take the edge off.
Yeah.
And I tried it, I think, in Tampa. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I gave some to Brooke, Levi Kitchen's girlfriend. She was like, she texted me like a month ago. She's like, what are those gummies again? I need to order some. Like,
I love that.
amazing.
I needed that back in the day.
My gosh,
I know your heart rate's like 200.
so anxious just for the start. You know how we are. It's just
Yes,
that
100%.
start. Because everyone's like, "How did you do watching Nathan race?" I'm like, it was just the start, and then you kind of are like, all right, you're either catching up from the back or you're in the lead, and you're like, don't lose it.
Yeah. It's like the anticipation of like the board being up.
Yes, and then they're
Yeah.
and then you're like, and here we go. Okay, you
My
made it out
heart
of the
rate
first-
was still high the whole race though. Like my heart rate
Yeah.
never comes down when my husband was on the track.
and you know, you would think it'd be better for them to be in the lead, but then it always
it's
it's worse.
Time be done.
Yeah.
Because then when they're like coming up through, and then you're just like, you know, and then it was funny. My kids remember towards the end when Nathan was towards the end of his career. Tatum always remembers. She asked me for a piece of gum. I was in the stands, and I was like, "Don't talk to me."
Yeah.
She's like,
I can't watch with anybody.
I was like,
I would only watch with like a select few people.
really? Same.
Like my sister-in-law and I could always watch the races together, which is ironic because sometimes like my husband and my brother race each other, but like we both still wanted them both to do good. So there was like no animosity. So she was like the one, and then my family, but that's pretty much it. But like no other wives.
Oh yeah, I can't do that.
Then it's like, or then they'll be like battling, you know, and
It's
you're
like
just like,
awkward.
yeah. And it's like, you obviously want your spouse to do good and they want their spouse, and it's just like weird.
yeah.
Did you
I'm
watch with
always
people?
alone?
I like to be in the stands a lot of
did
the times
too,
because I wanted to be able to get down for any reason, whether positive or
Yeah.
negative. If he did great, I
Same.
wanted to celebrate with him on the podium, or something bad. But then when I had kids, it got a little bit harder. And so they started the family suite, like the mom suite, which there wasn't very many of us. I was one of the first ones. I don't want to say I'm the one of the first ones that had kids in the industry, but in our era, I was one of the first
Yeah.
ones.
Were.
And then shortly after it started happening. But dude, I would go up there.
That's a long walk.
Yeah. And I would go there with Tatum, my firstborn, you know, and she was the best. She would go to sleep at the races at her bedtime. I'd cover her stroller and, you know, rock it like this. But one time there was a race and I was just pissed, and I didn't care who was in there. And I was like, he got taken out. It was his first race with Honda on a 450 because he debuted it, and it was at Anaheim, and he was about to podium. It was first time in the big class.
I have chills.
Do you remember who
What
it was?
year? No, what
It
year
was
was
Travis
it?
Pastrana.
What year was it?
So
2004?
2001,
Oh, okay.
I think, around that time.
It's not funny. You still remember this?
And I just remember because where I was at in the mom suite, I could see it was like going down the whoops, and then I think they had a left and a right, and it was over. It was like, it was his first big race, you know? And it was like, oh my gosh, you're going to put it. And then him and Travis were like, do. And then Nathan turns and Travis just goes, and punts them both off. I mean, I know he wasn't a person. He was just a,
He just probably got out of control. He
was
didn't
just-
mean to. Travis
didn't mean to. Nobody ever intentionally tries to
No.
hurt or take him. I mean,
He wouldn't say.
never. But anyway, I was like, F-bomb this, F-bomb that. And then I forgot.
In the long suite with all the other kids.
I don't even know who was there. I think Jeanette was in there back
Oh,
when,
Joel and Jeanette,
yeah, which used to be like the Christy
And Jay,
and
yeah.
Jay back in the day, and I didn't care.
And Jeanette was probably like, oh, Monica.
She knew me.
Yeah.
She knew me too well. But yeah, I didn't watch really with, I mean, and then we were good friends with Chad and Ellie Reed, which Nathan did lights at that time. I say lights because it was the 125 class. But he was on a 250F, but she was one. But other than that, nobody, I don't know, my memory is bad.
Yeah.
But
Mine too.
But anyway, that's interesting with like the CBD thing, because I used to be like, I need something. I can't
Yeah.
even, like,
Yeah.
And then when you have a lot of family coming, like at Anaheim, it makes things so much
So
more.
bad. Like you can't eat. You feel like you're gonna throw up all day, but like you have to act cool.
And then you have to entertain your family and make sure they got their tickets. They're getting to where they're gonna go.
Where's rider seating?
Yeah, and
Like figure it out.
I know.
like when did this? Can this person get a picture? Can this person get a picture? And
Yeah, it's a lot.
it's a lot, but it's awesome too at the same time.
It's so cool that, I mean, our husbands, I mean, they get to live their dream.
Yeah,
It's so cool.
and like she said,
Yeah,
it's a short amount of time,
it is.
so just enjoy it.
You enjoy
short.
every second.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on here.
Thanks for having me.
It's been fun getting to know you. And I think you really need to do a What's in My Closet. She has on some pants that I asked about like a couple of weeks ago.
You need them.
I do need them. But yeah, you have the best fashion. I look at your stories and stuff to look at, okay, well, she can put those together. So can I.
Oh, I love that.
Even though I'm a lot older than you. But thank you for coming on here.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. This was fun.
And we hope Cameron recovers quickly, safely.
Thank you.
Back on the track soon. So no outdoors, I'm assuming.
No outdoors.
Yeah, just so we're just going to focus on Supercross next year. Are we re-signed? Is this?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he has a 2-year deal.
Okay.
This was the
First year.
Oh,
Perfect. That's the best.
Mhm.
You don't have to panic. Yeah, you didn't
Get
need
him
more
healthy.
CBD gummies. Like, you're good.
I know.
Contract years are the worst, especially when somebody gets hurt. So
It's a lot. Yeah, a lot of pressure. But anyways, all right. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening, guys. Have a great day.